Thank you, fellow early risers, and thank you to our guest, Bob. Welcome. Mike invited me, our president of our club, Early Risers, invited me to talk about memberships, share the same information that I had shared with officer training at some recent events within the last few months. And so I thought I'd take this opportunity to take that information and develop it into a presentation that I can share with other clubs as well. So today, this morning, I really appreciate your feedback. Kick the tires, tell me what works, what doesn't, as I continue to develop and enhance this presentation for other clubs. My home club, Everett Pacesetters, my original club, 10 years, went through a decline in membership. I was used to just the ebb and flow of memberships, and so it didn't surprise me when we dipped below 20 for a period of time. But then all of a sudden we dipped down to 12, and that sort of surprised me, and the whole feel of the meeting was different. And I think that was the first time when I realized that if a club doesn't have a membership, ongoing membership building strategy, sooner or later, you'll be challenged with fewer members than you started with. Everyone started with 20. I also think that we should ask ourselves why. Why do we want to have new members? And I'll begin by asking you, how did Toastmasters make a difference to you within the last week? Any testimonials to share? Anything where you were promoting Toastmasters or where you were in a speaking situation that was easier because of your experience in Toastmasters? Shelley.
Two testimonials. One is I'm doing a public speaking event this weekend down in Tacoma. I am one of the educators from the Scleroderma Foundation, so I deliver education to patients. The other one is one of our members of our board, a very shy, very articulate young lady who would like to share her knowledge in the massage therapy field, has decided to join a Toastmasters up in the Birch Bay area.
That's great.
So she has watched me over the years progress, and now she's hoping to be able to also do the same thing.
Very good. Thanks. Shelley, thank you. To me, that's why we're trying to encourage membership. It is not just for the survival of this club, but it's to help people. It's to share an experience that was so transformational to us as individuals, to share that with other people. So why 20? Why is 20 important? That's the goal for every club. We started with 20, charters for 20 members. And the reason is because that's what it takes to have a functioning club. This is a good turnout. We have, I think, 9 or 10 members for early risers right now. And we consistently have a high turnout from week to week. That's a really good reflection for this club. But typically clubs can expect maybe as many half of their members don't show up any given meeting. And so you can imagine if you have a club size that is 20, half your members don't show up, you're operating with a club, a meeting for any given meeting of maybe 10 members or maybe a little bit more. If you drop below that, at 10 members, just about everybody has a role. And if someone doesn't show up and you're counting on them to show up, sometimes, you may have experienced it here, people have 2 roles, 2 or more roles, just to have the meeting. So that's why 20 is important. 8 members is really the floor. If you drop, if a club drops below 8 members for 2 cycles, 2 dues paying cycles, your charter is terminated. And that can be the end to your club. And then you may be scrambling to transfer to another Toastmasters club. So that's the reason 20 is important. A good starting point is moments of truth. Moments of truth is a process that Toastmasters uses for a club to reflect what works well, what doesn't work for that club. And it's really a great opportunity to address what I think is the foundation of a membership building strategy. First impressions of your club, what will a guest, what will members, if you want to retain members, what will their first impression be of your club? The value of your meetings. Moments of truth will help you understand what is working well, what might not work well. Those are both broad areas to consider when you think of first impressions That's for any member that's coming in or any guest that's coming to your club. The quality of your meetings, that's benefiting all members. The third part I would say was really meeting and understanding individual member needs. And those are the 3 points, those foundational points that I want to talk about today. First impressions. I would maintain that your website, our website for early risers, that's the first impression most people will have about this club. When someone is first thinking about joining Toastmasters, it's not when they walk into your club for the meeting. They'll go probably to the Toastmasters International website. They'll use the Find a Club feature, and they will look to see what clubs are in their area. Then they'll look to see what fits their schedule, location, and time-wise. And then they'll want some information about your club, and they'll click on that link on your website. So it's important. A couple things to take advantage of that is make sure that our website is personal, make sure it's fresh, that it has fresh content. Takes some resources, but the payoff can be very big. I was really impressed when I went to our website this week. It really changed. Up to this point, we had talked about it for a period of time. It was a generic stock photos. So imagine when I saw Mike's picture on our website, and I know that Aaron had put a lot of work, and other members of this club have put a lot of work in having photos that we could start to use to customize our website. And I would just say, how much more engaging is that? Think about that with just that, with Mike's smiling face versus the generic photos of people that are not in our club at all. So kudos to this club for updating the website. I think that's going to pay off. Branded guest packets. I picked up a packet when I walked in. That was also something new to this club, and I didn't bring it up to the lectern, but I think we're familiar. And if we're not, we should really take the opportunity to look at the guest packet. I like using branded items whenever possible. It creates a consistent feel for the guest to recognize Toastmasters, from the website to the agendas, brand of the website, to our name tags, to the visitor packet. Visitor packets take a little of extra work, because when you receive it from Toastmasters International, we still want to print off a membership application, put that in the form. We want to reuse those Toastmaster magazines to display them, put a label on it that identifies our club information. That makes a complete visitor packet. These items that the guests can take home, whether it's a ribbon or an award for the moment or a guest packet, that makes a big difference as well to guests. Good strategy to use. When we think of guests, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this slide, but it's just basics. It's how would you want to be treated if you were visiting a new club and you might be nervous, apprehensive about this commitment. Will Toastmasters work for you? It just makes it a personal experience. Greet them with a warm welcome. An experienced member of Toastmasters sits with that guest, helps them through the meeting, helps them fill out the ballots. Something I struggled with maybe early on was you invite something as simple as inviting the guest to join the Toastmasters Club. Sometimes that feels like arm twisting, or someone that isn't a salesman or a salesperson, and that's not part of their job. They might feel awkward of closing that deal. But I found that with practice, it's very easy and it's sincere. You really want the guest to benefit from your experience. And sometimes the guest just wants that feeling that they're wanted to. And so you're actually helping it, make it easier for them to join. Invite them back to attend this meeting, invite them to attend other Toastmaster clubs. We started out with a Toastimonial. I think that's a good habit, supportive and fun meetings, deliver effective quality meetings. I would encourage all clubs to incorporate that at the beginning of every meeting. What happened with you the last week? How did you promote Toastmasters? How did Toastmasters benefit you? We share stories all the time. It's engaging, and it really helps remind us why we're here. So I would include Toastimonials. Distinguished Club Program. This is an area that I think is often overlooked, but if you're measuring the quality of your meetings, these are the metrics to use. Evaluate how well you are training officers, how you are managing the administration responsibilities of your club? Are members gaining an education? Is there a value there? Become familiar with the Toastmaster dashboard and track your progress throughout the year. And a big one, visit other clubs. I have benefited so much as president of Everett Pacesetters when I visited other clubs in the area, as a coach when I visited this club, and as area director and I visited other clubs in Area 16. Because I'm always finding how other clubs approach it and surprise, and I'm able to bring that back to my home club as well. And then member care, individual member care. Not everyone's at Toastmasters for the same reason. Sometimes it's for the social part of Toastmasters. Other times it's because they really want to improve their public speaking skills. Other times it may be their leadership skills. But understand what their needs are, and one size doesn't fit all for Toastmasters. We talked about ribbons, guest packets, things that help, that people can take away. That helps promote Toastmasters too. When someone takes a Best Speaker Award and takes it back to work or displays it, or a trophy. I know of one club that actually hands out 30-cent trophies and they take it back and it has the club information on the club. That's a great idea. Stay connected with the club members through emails. There's our upcoming agenda. Here are the roles that need to fill. We still have some vacancies. Stay connected with members. And one club I visited recently, I was real impressed. They actually send thank you notes to their members for re-signing up. The leaders all sign a thank you card. But that was pretty good. I hadn't thought of that before. So I spent most of my time, and now's the time when we're getting about, when I want to talk about what to do to begin to recruit new members. All of the other things are important. That lays the foundation. Now you're ready to actually recruit members. Well, definitely use the website and social media. I'd recommend Meetup. Meetup was new to me, and I wasn't a big fan. It was very expensive, but in my experience, beyond your website, our website, it's linked to Toastmasters International. Meetup has actually had very positive results for clubs. So if you can afford it, if your club can afford it, I recommend a Meetup account. And that's probably because the people that are using Meetup, they're looking for groups to come together to meet, more so than maybe Facebook in general. That would be my thought. If you're really ambitious, email campaigns. Now this was something that I'll give credit to Jay Sunderland and his club. They focused on membership building. Jay would spend 2 to 3 hours every single week on an email campaign. And he would pick up business cards. Wherever he saw business cards displayed, he would take a photo, and he would use that to reach back to the people that had put their business cards on a display. And he would invite them to attend a Toastmasters meeting as a guest. He would send out like 100 emails every single week. 2 to 3 hours he would spend. That is a commitment. And the rate of return, less than 2%, would actually show up. But if you really want to take it to that next level and you're willing to make that type of effort, I want to at least leave you with a tip that would really stretch, that might have that type of payoff to increase membership beyond some of the other things that we talked about already. Business cards and superpages.com. I don't even know what superpages.com, but I imagine it's like a yellow pages type thing on the website. And he would just go down, starting with A's, businesses with A's in his local area. So if you look at businesses with A's in Mount Vernon area, that might be a place to start. Of course, talk to friends, relatives, coworkers, where the Toastmasters pen, ways to start to engage people. Shelley, you mentioned a coworker was inspired, or a colleague was inspired by you, saw your growth over that period of time. That's where I found that it's the most natural way to talk about Toastmasters. When you see someone that's anxious about giving a presentation or struggling, well, then that's a way you can encourage their growth as well. And of course, displaying the Toastmasters magazine and brochures and flyers. So keep it personal, find out what those individual needs are, and remember how we treat other people. I guess never forgets the host to treat them kindly. Thank you. Thank you for